I take this opportunity to welcome all our guests and participants for the online webinar on Career Horizon in Geography, Geospatial Technology, Shaping the Future. It is a privilege to have the leading academic experts, Dr. 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗍𝗏 from the University of North Bengal and Dr. Anandya Basu from Diamond Harbour Women University, West Bengal, among us to deliver the lecture. I introduce you to our first speaker, Dr. 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗍𝗏. Dr. 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗍𝗏 is an assistant professor in the Department of Geography and Applied Geography at the University of North Bengal, Darjeeling. He holds a PhD degree in Geography from the University of Calcutta with specialization in urban transport and environmental studies. His research interests include the urban and regional planning, transport geography, GIS and remote sensing, and quality of life studies. Dr. Roy Chaudhary has published more than 90 research papers in international reputed journals like Springer, Elsewhere, and Sage. He has also completed several research projects funded by the Department of Science and Technology, ICSR, Government of West Bengal, and the University of North Bengal. Now, I would request Dr. 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗍𝗏 sir to deliver his talk. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. 𝗕𝗏𝗂𝗏𝗏 sir. And I would like to thank the Symbiosis International University for giving me this platform. First of all, before going to start, sir, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. So before going to start, I'm just sharing my screen, then let us move on to the discussion. Sir, is the screen visible?
No, sir. Yeah, now it is visible.
Okay. Okay. So very good afternoon to all the participants and the respected faculty members from the Department of Geoinformatics, Symbiosis Institute of Geoinformatics. Now, what we are trying to focus today, especially that geoinformatics, we are all the people right now in the era of globalization. We are in the field of geoinformatics and the geospatial technology. But why should we move on to that geospatial technology, and what are the career prospects, especially those who belongs to the subject like geography or geoinformatics or the computer science or any other science discipline, those we want to take geospatial science as their career. So for that particular perspective, I have been taken into consideration one of the title of my presentation today, that is exploring career pathways in geospatial science and the growing relevance of the geoinformatics as a professional discipline. Now, mainly I focus my discussion in two ways. First of all, that what are the career paths or opportunities that have been taken into consideration under the geospatial science, and how do we proceed if we have that kind of eligible criteria, if we have that kind of degree in our hand. So how we can move on to this particular discipline, this geoinformatics discipline in our career or in a pathway of career in future. So moving on to the first part of my discussion, that is very importantly that, just a minute, very importantly that as a student of geoinformatics or maybe a student of other science discipline, work-life balance, that is the first priority, is very important, because after completion of your masters or those who have already been completed or done in your graduation, UG, so completion of your UG or completion of your masters, it's very important that you can make sure that you have a proper work-life balance. And what is work-life balance? Work-life balance is that how much time that you spend for your career if you are involving this kind of geospatial technology or geospatiality as your career opportunities. So usually, if I'm comparing with this geospatial professionals and the other professionals, other people who are involved in the other career opportunities, so usually the people who are involved in this geospatial professional, they usually involve, that is one of the database has been published, and they have to spend almost 45 hours per week for involving or for contributing lot of scope in this geospatial career. And if I'm talking about the job security, obviously regarding the geospatial career opportunities, job security quite high because you are the student. So you have more about the technicalities, you have more knowledge about your skill, you have more knowledge about your soft skill development. So if you are coming to a competition with the other academics, with the other participants, with the other competitors, so you have a very good sign of skill and technological development. So ultimately, you will be win in any kind of jobs market or any kind of job opportunity market. So very importantly, as a student of geoinformatics or as a students of UG or PG in the perspective of the geospatial science, very importantly, because to some extent, we all the student, all the people from the student of geography or computer science or the other discipline, we know little bit of digitization of the map making technique. But as a students of geospatial science, you should reach to your limit to a certain level so that you could be a particular person. You have some uniqueness compared to the other person. Suppose in a market, suppose I am a company and I am giving you the job. So what would be your uniqueness in your particular soft skill development or in your technological development so that I can give the job opportunity to you? So as a student of geoinformatics, as a student of geospatial science, you should reach your skill development up to a certain level. And that is very important in today's context, because right now it is a part of competition. And in competition, as a student, you should reach to your ultimate goal. And if you wish to go to your ultimate goal, definitely you should upgrade your skill, you should upgrade your technological development so that you can win the job market. Next is the job flexibility. If you're talking about this geospatial science in your career work-life balance, so definitely, because in this geospatial science, there is a two kind of work that you can go. And one is for the remote case. Another is definitely you can be there in office. Now, after COVID 2020, everyone knew about this COVID pandemic. So after COVID, right now this geospatial market is being blended with, because some of the offices, they are being provided the remote job opportunity because you are staying in your home or any of the other places and you can do your work. But some of the offices, they can provide the particular place in their office. You can go to the office and do their work. And the third one, the blended, like 2 days in a week, you can spend in office, 3 days in a week, you can spend in your home. So job flexibility is to some extent okay in this particular geospatial career. Now moving on to the next thing that is called the skills and attributes. There are 5 components that you keep in mind while you are moving on to this geospatial career. First of all is the communication. As a student of geospatial science, you should have a very good communication skill, because while you are communicating with your client, with your entrepreneur, with your colleagues, or rather than with your company, your communication skill should be much better so that the opposite side people, they can understand how much ability, how much technological skill you have. So you could be more focused on the communication. Second very important thing that is called the critical thinking. What is the critical thinking? Very importantly, that what you are thinking, what you are trying to think, that should be more critical in nature. Critical in nature means not very complex. Critical in nature means something that could be different in thinking from the others. Say, for example, I am thinking of a model, because model is very important in geospatial career. So if I'm thinking about a model, so my thinking ability of a model, that should be different from the other person who are thinking about a same model. So way of representation, way of thinking about the particular idea, that is very important. Next is technological skill. You should know some of the software, you should know some of the programming language, so you don't have any problem to take a job in this geospatial career. Because this knowing the software, knowing the programming language is a very good sign to get a job in this geospatial market. Next is problem solving. As a student of geospatial or as a student of geoinformatics, you should be a person that you should solve the problem. Next is the data collection and the time management. Very importantly, because geospatial science, it could be based on the data collection method. What the data you are collecting, whether from the satellite, whether from the other kind of remote sensing data product, or maybe from the field, it is your turn to make it in a map. And how this map making technique can be proceed? Definitely, if you have a proper geospatial knowledge. Because basic knowledge, all the people we have. But if you want to brush up this knowledge, if you want to brush up this geospatial science in your future, you should definitely go to a particular renowned institution for getting a geospatial, for enhancing this geospatial knowledge, for enhancing this geospatial technological development in your mind or in your skill development. If I'm moving on to the another thing, that is particular, what are the jobs available in the spatial analysis? The first is the blockchain architect. It's a new concept of this geospatial career where we are talking about the architectural management. And as a students of geoinformatics, you could be a greater chance to be a part of this blockchain architectural program. You could be a geospatial engineer, because if you have a proper geospatial knowledge, including you have a good knowledge is artificial intelligence, because right now we are in the era of AI. We are in the era of machine learning, deep learning. So if you have this kind of good knowledge in this particular artificial intelligence or deep learning techniques, so you could be a geospatial engineer. So you can know how to formulate a particular software development program so that that software can resolve so many problems of this society. You could be an augmented reality developer. What is the augmented reality developer? That could be it includes some overlaying technique with the real world and the map making world. And finally, the geospatial data analyst. It's a very good job opportunity in the recent geospatial market. If you are a proper geospatial data analyst, so you have a proper ability to interpret and examine the different kind of spatial and non-spatial information regarding with the map making technique or map making features. This is a broad career opportunities. Everyone, we know that if you have a good technical skill, if you have proper analytical skill, so this is not going into detail that much of. I am focusing on this thing. Right now in the GIS industry, these are very high priority roles. So there are 4 segments, 4 domains that are there. One is a GIS analysis. Second one is a GIS developer. Third one is a GIS consultant, and fourth one is a data scientist. This 4 domain right now in the geospatial market is very, very popular. And if you are a student of geoinformatics, if you will be completing, suppose if you have your UG in geography, if you're UG in the computer science, if you're UG in physics, mathematics, you could be definitely come to MS, particularly in geoinformatics as your degree. And after completion of the degree, you could be definitely get a job in this particular 4 domain or 4 aspect as an analysis, as a developer, as a consultant, and as a data scientist. And if you are looking about your salary, the salary is very lucrative. And definitely your salaries depend on your particular knowledge and your skill. It is very as a beginner or as a freshers, you are not expecting that much of salary, like 5 to 12 lakhs per year. But if your skill is that much of updated, if your technical knowledge is that much of updated. So a company like a 𝗕 or the other geospatial company can give you the job opportunity with a high salary package. So it's a very high chance, or it's a very high turn that you should go to a geoinformatics as your career. So there is a very much secure job with a very high package salaries that you can get. Obviously, for that, what are the things you could be keep in your mind? Number one, you should know the software. The basic level software that everyone we are understanding, like an ArcGIS or the QGIS. And very importantly, right now we are in the era of the open source platform, open source software. So apart from ArcGIS, apart from QGIS, there are a lot of new open source software are easily available in the website. So you can download it. You know how to use this software for preparing any kind of maps. So keep in mind, you should be different from the others. If you are different from the others, then definitely company definitely will give you the job. Second, spatial analysis and remote sensing. You should know how to interpret the map. You should know how to interpret any kind of satellite images, and you should know how to analysis any kind of data. Third is programming. And under the programming, you should know the JavaScript and Python and R programming. That is very important for preparing any kind of data analysis. And finally, the database management. Now, if you are taking particular as a geoinformatics as your remote sensing career, first of all, very importantly, if you're a student of geography or if you're a student of computer science or other science discipline, very importantly, that you should do the MSc degree, particularly in the field of geoinformatics. And you know that Symbiosis Institute of Geoinformatics, they are giving you the MSc in geoinformatics. So very importantly, sometimes some of the universities are giving that is in MA in geography or MA in other particular subjects. So this is a problem if it is in arts degree. So with the arts degree, there is a problem to get a job prospect in this particular career. But if you're doing the MSc in geoinformatics, if you're doing the MSc in geospatial science, so your career could be more broader, your career could be more prospect. This is number one. So you should definitely do the masters in geoinformatics. Masters, that means the masters in science in geoinformatics. Your background should be whether your background from physics, whether your background from mathematics, whether your background from geography, or maybe the computer science, or maybe some other science discipline. Because right now a lot of students are coming to the university for doing the MSc in geoinformatics. They have their background in botany, zoology, even they have the anthropology. So a lot of discipline they have. So whether they have the discipline, different kind of science and arts-based subject, but they can complete the MSc in geoinformatics, so they have very good opportunities to get the job in your hand. What the experience are needed for entry level in a company for as a freshers? Definitely, you should know the data processing and the analysis, because a company is asking, or a company also asking that whether my employee is know properly the data processing techniques and the analysis and the quality checking of the data. And right now, a lot of companies are providing the remote sensing application internship program. Even a lot of universities are providing the internship program. A lot of industries are providing the internship program. And as a new education policies, the NEP in 2000, even SIG, even other universities also providing this internship program. So this internship are related to the industry. And so the student at the case of third semester or fourth semester, they are involved in this industry for their internship. And if they can do the internship very well with the industry, obviously after completion of masters, like fourth semester, they will get a job later in that particular industry as a permanent employee. So it's a very good opportunity in the geospatial career in this case. Now, what are the jobs that are being provided in the market in the geospatial science? If I'm talking about the urban planning, now in the context of urban planning, there are different kind of jobs are being provided. One is the land infrastructure, land use planning, zonation. So there are different sectors, and this sector can be based on your specialization. And how this specialization can be going on if you are coming in this particular geoinformatics or geospatial as your career pathway. Even if you are a student of a geospatial science or geoinformatics, you could be an urban planner, and your salary package is very good one, 4 to 10 lakhs per year, if you have that kind of good skill. There are various kind of government jobs that are available. Like you are a student of geoinformatics, you can get a jobs in Survey of India. SOI is a very good renowned institution who is making the topographical sheet, topo sheet. You can also get a job in remote sensing center like IIRS Dehradun, Indian Institute of Remote Sensing. So you can get a project intern, you can get a research assistant in this IIRS. You can also get a job in Forest Survey, Government of India. So there are a lot of job opportunities in the government sector, permanent job. Other government jobs also available. If you are completing the MSc in geoinformatics, like you will get a job in Special Investigation Division. You will get a job in Department of Science and Technology, DST, Government of India. TCS, very renowned company, TCS. There are a lot of branches in all over the world in TCS. You can get a job in S3 India. Election Commission, right now the election will be coming up in 2026. So Election Commissions of India, they want to try to find out some mapping, and they need some geospatial experts. So as a student of geoinformatics, you can get a job easily in this Election Commission. You can get a job in Department of Irrigation, Wetland Management. So a lot of job opportunity you have. But keep in mind, you should learn the geospatiality. You should learn the geoinformatics so you can get a job easily in that particular field. Now, if I make a comparison with this academia, GIS industry, urban planner, and remote sensing application, all the cases, if you look at academia, means it is a teaching job or teaching profession. So in the teaching profession, we can find out teaching means like it is in the faculty of the colleges or the universities, like the professor, associate professor, or the assistant professor. So the package is 7 to 15 lakhs per annum. It's a job, it's a part of job. But if you could be a geospatial scientist, or if you have a proper degree in the geoinformatics, so you could get a job easily in the GIS industry, or as an urban planner, or as a remote sensing analyst. So your salary could be more, or it is almost more than the academician. Because this is very important. If you have very good skill, if you have very good career objective, definitely you can get a job with a high salary package like 6 to 14 lakhs. So what for that get the job, what are the key takeaways we can find out? First of all, you could be prepare yourself, could be in a market demand. And what is the market demand? Market demand means that you should know some good software, you should know some good technological upgradation, technological skill, and you should know some good languages, programming languages. So automatically, as a professional, whether it's a GIS analyst or whether it's a GIS profession, you could be more demand in the market. So the company will get a job letter to you. This is number one. Number two, you should enhance or develop your skill, whether in the market of GIS, remote sensing, or in the data science. Third very important thing, while you are doing the geoinformatics, maybe in the masters in geoinformatics, either from the Symbiosis Institute of Geoinformatics or maybe some other institution, very importantly, beside this geoinformatics in the university or the institution, you should do some certificate program, some workshop, some online program. Please go ahead, because this kind of certificate will enhance your CV, because a company can follow up your CV if you have not only the degree, apart from the degree, you have some other kind of certificate, and that certificate can gives you more good impression to get a job very well. And what kind of certificate? Certificate means not like a normal lecture like that. The certificate of some online training program, the certificate is some offline training program, because Symbiosis is also doing a lot of workshop, lot of program, the technological skill develop program throughout the year. So definitely you can take a part of this particular skill development program. So that can enrich your CV. And this kind of certificate can enrich your CV. Not only that, the company also know that, okay, you have some unique kind of degree, you have some advanced kind of degree. And please do some internship with some good industry, internship with some institution. That internship certificate also will provide a good job in the GIS market. Now, it's a term that very important to get a job. You please go ahead with a good resume, because your resume could give a good chance to get a job, and a cover letter and some recommendation letter. Next is experience. And as a fresher, definitely you do not have that experience, but what the experience letter you needed? The internship experiences. So that this kind of thing, if you have in your hand, so no one is competing with you. You could be a person who will win this job market. You will control this job market. And for that, please go ahead with this geoinformatics as your geospatial career. Now, it's just to some extent, little bit of part. If you are going to an urban planner, so you will get a job as a surveyor, you will get a job as an urban designer, smart city coordinator, GIS analyst. If you are good, go ahead with the environmental assessment as your career platform. So definitely you could go ahead with as a climate scientist. You also get an as an environmental impact assessment, biodiversity analysis, lot of individual platform you have if you have a simple geospatial degree in your hand. Even also you can get particularly in the emergency and the disaster management team. As a GIS specialist, you will also get as an emergency response coordinator. You can get a job in emergency GIS specialist. Even you can also job in the natural resource management team under this renewable energy analyst, biodiversity specialist, water resource planner. So many job platform you have. But for that, what you need? Only the degree in geoinformatics. So if you have a student of geography, so no need to take any other kind of movement. Please take the geospatial science as your career opportunity and complete your geospatial knowledge with some degree. Because right now in the job market, degree is very important. Degree is very, now the question is being coming, which is very important, degree or diploma? It is my opinion, degree is very important. MSc in geoinformatics. Suppose if you are a student of Symbiosis Institute of Geoinformatics, and if any other student from other institution with some PG diploma kind of thing, as a student of MSc in geoinformatics, you should be more opportunity to get a geospatial career compared to the other, because you have the degree and the renowned institution. That is also very important thing. Next is, you also as a student of geoinformatics, you should get a job in space, a space science station, like as a, because ISRO is right now is providing lot of opportunity if you have a proper good science, if you have a background of science, physics or mathematics, and if you have a proper geospatial knowledge, like MSc in geoinformatics or MTech in geoinformatics. So if you have a good opportunities in job, in satellite constellation managers, Earth observation satellites, space operation engineer, and so on. That's the last part of my discussion. I'm just taking 5 minutes to complete my presentation. This is the entry-level geospatial career. What is the entry level? Like the freshers. You are the freshers. You don't have that much of experience in your hand. You have only some certificates. You have only some internship program, and you have the degree of MSc in geoinformatics, suppose from Symbiosis. So, what are the particular jobs you are getting at the initial level? And you know, a lot of companies, they are not asking in this particular stage, no experience. So you could be a GIS technician just for basic level of spatial data collection, digitization, database management, map making tools, and that you can do definitely. You can do also a survey assistant just for collecting a data with the GPS, GNSS, and total station. You can do some mapping technique with some topographical map digitization, some land administration digitization, infrastructure development program. Now, moving on to the next step, core analytical role. So you have some experience you have. Now you can move on some deeper sense of geoinformatics or geospatial career. So then you can get a job of GIS analyst, where your role should be more complicated because already you have the experience. So you are involving in advanced spatial analysis, data modeling, and the thematic mapping. Using this, you are also as a supporter of the urban planning, environmental management, and the research studies. If you're a student of geoinformatics and you have more sense of knowledge of remote sensing, you can go on the remote sensing analyst. And as a remote sensing analyst, you can go at the satellite imagery and multi-sensor remote sensing data analysis. You can also spread out your knowledge of remote sensing in the agriculture, forestry, climate studies, so on. Move on to the, if you're a student of geography. So from geography, you can easily come up, if you complete your UG or PG in geography, and after completion of your UG and PG in geography, you come directly in MSc in geoinformatics, you can get this kind of job opportunity as a cartographer, as a geospatial visual specialist, as a photogrammist, and as a geospatial data specialist, because these are the some of the platform which are being associated with the student who are coming from the geography. Because with the syllabus or the curriculum of geography, this kind of module, they have already been completed in your UG or PG level, but in the MSc in geoinformatics, they are just brushing up with some new technology, new innovative way out, so they can easily get a job in specialized technical role in this market. Coming to the professional career, because based on the specialization, people are moving to the different kind of career platform. One group of students who have the proper geospatial knowledge, they can move to the GIS as a GIS specialist. Some group of students, they can move to the, already I have told you, as a urban or regional planners. Because with the knowledge of geography and geoinformatics, they can do a lot of things in the research. They can do a lot of things in the market of urban and regional planning. And as an environment analysis, right now, this environment analysis is very popularized in the society, because we know about this landslide, this kind of air pollution. There are a lot of environmental problem is going on. So for preparation of the map, model mapping, computational mapping, for this right now, this environmental analysis is very popularized. And for that, definitely you should have a proper geospatial knowledge. Another thing, leadership and management. So if you have a lot of internship, if you have completed internship, if you have a proper geospatial knowledge, you could be a GIS manager. And as a GIS manager, you could have a proper GIS team with, you bring a lot of projects from the different funding institution. As a beginner, you are definitely not to be a GIS manager, but whenever your experience is be quite high, you could be, and that could be possible maybe after 10 years. And you could be open an entrepreneur market, and you are only one GIS manager of that market. So you can open a company where a lot of people you are giving the employment opportunity in your company. Under your leadership, all the people are doing their job in the geospatial market. So just think about so many suspenses, so many surprises in your hand if you have only the geospatial career in your hand. Next is the geospatial project coordinator. Right now, a lot of projects are going on in Department of Science and Technology, in ICSSR, in SCRB, and a lot of international national funding agencies. And they are definitely required one thing. If you are looking their advertisement, the eligible criteria, MSc in geoinformatics, MSc in geography, or rather than MSc in geography with the knowledge of geoinformatics. So if you have a good knowledge in geospatial science, if you have a good knowledge in geoinformatics, definitely you could be a project coordinator, project scientist, and the salary package is too high. So a lot of opportunities you have. And for that, you should know some software, and you know some software. Already I've told you that some open source software, ArcGIS, 𝗏𝗏𝗏, and the other software you know. Apart from that, you could know some programming languages like Java, JavaScript, Python, and database management. So you don't have any problem to get a job in the job market. So as a GIS developer, as a geospatial application engineer, or as a technical skill integration, you could know some software development career. Next is the emerging data-driven career. These are quite opportunity like a geospatial data scientist and so on. What are the jobs that are available in government sector? You could be a town and country planning officers. You could be a part of disaster management authorities. You could be a part of environmental and forest department. You could be a part of remote sensing and mapping agencies. You could be a part of census and statistical organizations. So look, These are the government sector opportunities where, so for that, what you need? For that, you need only the geospatial knowledge. For that, you need only the geospatial degree. And if you have this degree in your hand, so definitely you could be win this open platform of this government sector as well. Private sector, apart from the government sector, there are a lot of private sector who can gives you the opportunities of this GIS market. Like you could be a geospatial consulting firm. You are being part of this. You could be a part of infrastructure and construction companies. You could be a part of IT and software industry like TCS, S3 India. There could be a part of software industry. So you could be definitely get a job either through campusing in your institution or by your own way. So, but for that, you should definitely have this geospatial degree in your hand. Logistic and transportation and energy and utility services. And this is not being a part of that much of, this is the academic and research career, definitely. If you think that after completion of MSc in geoinformatics, I should go on PhD, I should go on my research. For that also, if you have a degree, MSc in geoinformatics degree in your hand, definitely will get a easy opportunity to get as a research scholar in any of the good reputed institution or university in India or abroad. Because right now I am also supervisor. So as a supervisor, what I need the quality among my researcher, if they have a proper knowledge of geospatial science, not the basic level of digitization, because digitization everyone knows. But right now it is the era of artificial intelligence. It is the era of that is the machine learning, deep learning. So if you know this, definitely as a supervisor, I can take you as my scholar. So very importantly, if you have a good geospatial knowledge, you can also moving or shifting towards research in your as your career. That's doctoral, postdoctoral research as well. These are some of the essential technical skill that you know, and important soft skill also you have. And finally, this is one of the, everyone you know that whether through campusing or through by your own way, you can find out the jobs. And there are a lot of jobs in online platforms are available. So these are some of the websites. LinkedIn, if you have a particular resume profile in LinkedIn, you just open it, you have a lot of job opportunities coming in the LinkedIn. So from LinkedIn, Naukri.com, Shine in India, you can find a lot of jobs in geospatial market. So with this, I can conclude my discussion. Thank you. Over to you, 𝗕𝗍𝗶.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable experience. We'll be taking the question answer sessions at the end of the session. So now we'll move to our next speaker, Dr. 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏. Dr. 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏 is an assistant professor in the Department of Geography at Diamond Harbour Women University. She is a rank holder in both bachelor's and master's degree in geography from the University of Calcutta. Her research interests include socio-political geography, urban environmental issues, remote sensing and GIS, and tourism geography. Dr. Basu has completed 3 sponsored research projects and published around 70 research papers and book chapters in various reputed journals and publishing house. Now I would request Dr. 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏 madam to deliver her talk. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. I hope my slide is visible.
Yes, madam. Your slide is visible.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, I would like to extend my gratitude to Dr. Das for providing me this opportunity from Symbiosis Institute of Geoinformatics. And a very good afternoon to all the listeners who are present over here. After the very insightful first lecture of Dr. Rai-Choudhury, being a second speaker is always a bit difficult because almost all the topics are being covered by the prior speaker. So I would like to start on since Indroda made the entire lecture on a very optimistic note, I would start the lecture on a bit on the pessimistic side. Getting a job is easy. Obviously, it's easy, but it's not as easy as we generally portray to kind of motivate the young students. Because as we all know, the job market is quite competitive, and there is a large pool of talent out there. So what we really need is to bridge the skill gap, because there are job opportunities, but there is a lack of proper skill that the industry wants and what the traditional educational platform is providing. Now, in present scenario, the NEP 2020 is trying to fill in that gap. But in case of the students who probably are from the geography background, most of you who are over here are from geography background, I believe. So what we traditionally we are taught is not quite effective in the job market. So that's why a second master's or after the bachelor's degree going into the geospatial technology, the question arises. Because apart from academics, then pure geography or the general geography that we normally pursue is not being able to provide us the platform that we look for after we finish our education. So coming to the basics of what we all know, what is geography all about, but why geographers would have an edge in the geospatial field? Because in the geospatial field, there would be people coming from physics background, from computer applications, probably from several other disciplines, even from geology, several students do come. So what edge the geography students would have? Now, since we are able to deal with space, both from the human aspect as well as from the physical geography aspect, we would be able to kind of make sense of the complex world around us in a better way than the people from other discipline would be able to do. We would be able to kind of amalgamate land, climate, human activities, and the modern technology that is being offered through the GIS platform together, that would be able to address more effectively the regional problems that we face or that the industry requires to address. Now, what in geography we are taught to ask questions like where, what, why, when, how, who, everything. If you look at the three scenarios over there, these are all kind of disaster scenarios. One is of flood, the other is of drought, the other is of earthquake. Theoretically, we learn these in geography. But when it comes to the managerial scene, we have to depend on the technological sides. And then the role of the geospatial techniques comes in. So we need to bridge the gap between traditional geography and the high-tech frontier at the present times. And geographers have always dealt with maps, no doubt. We have been dealing with maps. I would come from stone mapping to very rudimentary mapping, cartography. But right now we are trying to give a kind of digital twin of our world. So that is what we are referring as the digital nervous system. So as we all know, the evolution of geography in academia, in the initial school days, we normally refer or we normally align geography with, can you name the capital of these countries, or what is latitude and longitude? But as we grow with geography, the questions kind of transforms into a more analytical one, more decision-making one. So once we are into the UG and PG level, we are more into the analytical mode rather than where it is located or how it is found, but what is the reason behind it or how it can be handled. So this kind of transformation of question leads us to the technological advancement. We need to be from those Babylonian mapping to the traditional mapping through cartography to the web map that is presently we are dealing with. Now, the technological pillars of GIS, as we all, geospatial techniques, as we all know, GIS, remote sensing, and the GNSS positioning, the very modern part being the UAVs or the drones, the more traditional ones being the photogrammetry, and even the ones who are not very kind of technologically savvy, they are also using the online mapping platforms like Google Map, like Google Earth, or even the NASA online platforms. Now, coming to the specific question of the job orientation of the entire geospatial technology. Now, these 4 platforms, the survey scanning, the GNSS positioning, Earth observation, and GIS spatial analytics, if you just go through the application side, that would help us to understand that in which fields the opportunities or the windows of opportunities would be. In case of surveying, there is chance for getting into cadastral mapping, land use planning, even a bit of commercial aspect to it, like property taxation. When we refer to GNSS positioning, the navigation, the routing aspect, traffic monitoring and control. In case of RS or Earth observation part, the disaster management, LULC changes, monitorings, the drone technology, and with the GIS, which integrates all the data layers together, would help us in modeling and prediction. So these are the 4 major avenues through which the geospatial platforms operate. And as we go through a course in geospatial technology, probably like we choose a special paper in which we have special interest in, obviously a geospatial student would have knowledge in all the 4 domains, no doubt. But if you are planning to have a very specific career, or if you wish to choose a very specific platform, then you can choose from these 4 in which one you are trying to specialize in, and then you can learn more about it, because a proper institution would give you an overview or provide you the avenues which you can pursue, but ultimately it's over to you that how you're going to handle, because information or avenues of information are too many nowadays. If I may say that you would come across several institutions who are trying to offer various degrees on geospatial technology, and they're charging hefty amounts too. But once you try to select that in which institution I would be enrolling myself, I would request you to make sure that what kind of placement history they have, or you can just probably talk through the senior batches, because just joining the bandwagon won't help you. A proper institution probably like 𝗬𝗫𝘀, or there are a few more organizations also who would provide you a solid platform. Just having a degree or a diploma, whether it's obviously it's better to have a degree than a diploma, but ultimately it's a hands-on industry. So you would have to handle the problem that you are being given, and the more professional you are in the field, the better the opportunity would be for you in the coming years. So we have to be very careful in choosing the organization in where I'm spending my years and my hard-earned money. So coming to the geospatial technology, as we all know, is empowering ourselves in mapping and monitoring. So how we are going to deal with the data analysis part? Geography has taught us to handle data through statistical softwares. Probably we are also doing a bit of database management, but these bits and pieces would add on in the geospatial analysis, and there would be several avenues where we would be working on. I would just, there are examples given over here. I would just flip through it because there are slides when there are several instances in life when we really don't understand or realize that we are using some geospatial technique. Like when we are booking a Ola or a Uber, or when we are trying to have a quick bite through Swiggy, or we are booking for a pizza. The entire management, the spatial management, is being done through the digital architecture, the spatial data architecture. So the companies which are directly not related to geography, obviously they are not related to geography, but they are depending on the geospatial technology, and they would in turn depend on the students of geography. So there are several popular commercial agencies which are hiring. I would come to it. The more we are able to interpret the situation, the map, we are able to address the challenges that the present world poses to us. It could be climate change, it could be urbanization, it could be resource scarcity. To every problem, a certain kind of solution or way to solution can be provided through the geospatial platform. The only thing is we have to identify it. We have to understand that what kind of technology would be appropriate to address this problem. Because on your analytical ability and the knowledge that you have gathered through the course in due course of your education years, you would be giving solutions to the agencies, be it government agencies, be it private agencies. So the more problem-solving ability that you develop through GIS analytics would help you to stand a chance in the job market. Now, what fields would GIS would open the platforms to us? The field of urbanization and all that 𝗬𝗏𝗏 has already spoken about. Just if you, I'm not sure if you have heard about AnyMove, but not only like dealing with human beings or objects that are related to human, even the wildlife, the radio collars and all that are being used nowadays to track the movement of the animals or to track whether they are being poached illegally or all that. Even that requires a geospatial skill. There are several softwares that you have already learned in your general course or you will be learning. There are open source softwares, there are paid softwares. Most of them have similar interfaces or similar functions, but as you go through the courses, you would understand that this module is better for this one, this helps with this one. So you need to identify that for which problem I'm going to, which kind of software or which portion of the tools I am going to use. So that's kind of the efficiency part is going to be the USP for you all. This is the kind of location-based services that I just told you about. Now, geospatial thing sounds very urban, very suave, but in case of even basic agriculture that we all thrive on, even there is a huge scope for remote sensing. Crop monitoring analysis, the climate change impact, the crop yield analysis, information storage in cloud, then mapping through drone technology or UAVs. In agriculture, there is huge scope for geospatial technology. So not only if you're working in geospatial aspect, you think that you have to deal with only urban issues or only pure environmental crisis, not that. Very regular agricultural development can be done through your work or through your projects. 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 was speaking about being GIS leaders, analysts, and all that. Obviously, those are the higher ranking positions. But when you start off, or when you are not too sure of what kind of skills you have acquired, or you're unsure, you're applying everywhere, the first step that a geographer can very successfully take, though initially it might not be highly remunerative, but it can help you in building confidence, is surveying. Because from your UG days, you are very much familiar with ground surveying. You use theodolite, GPS, total station. And with that, you can add on the aerial surveying through aerial photographs or LIDAR. And you have initial ideas about satellite surveying. So when you brush up on that through geospatial courses, it's very easy to get a job in surveying initially. You get to that job, you build on your resume, you then prepare for better opportunities. But this is something that is very easy to achieve for a geographer in the initial stage. I won't say that you stick to it, but it can be a very easy stepping stone for the future. Now, I would like to speak a bit on the drones. It's something that is being kind of, for the last couple of years, it has come in a big way. And what are the fields or application fields of drone? Disaster management, wildlife monitoring, weather forecasting, agricultural sector, delivery, shipping and delivery, aerial photography, through that 3D image map making also. If you see that certain irregularities are happening, the government is also using the law enforcement, even through army or police, they are also using drone technology nowadays. So you have, if you can like master this upcoming avenue of geospatial technique, then probably you would be well equipped to get the emerging market. There is a bit of, I would say it's highly competitive in traditional GIS and RS sector right now. But in case of drone technology, since many have not yet been familiar with this one, if you can start working on this aspect as early as possible, if you can, then it would help you to be able to earn a bit more respect from your peers also. You would be there in the job market. Now, what kind of softwares or what kind of avenues you can apply the drone imaging processing? There is AGI MetaShape, Pix 4D Mapper, Auto Mod, or even the simple drone to map one. So there are several avenues, like just I said, and one important thing is the security aspect, which I said, which is surveillance. If you're not very kind of wary about the private job market, because RSGIS mostly provides you jobs in the private sector. If you are good at drone, or if you're good with drone interpretation mapping or applications, then you can have secured government jobs through surveillance sectors. If you are able to do it well, there are avenues for you in government sector also. Now, these are the kind of various projects or that have been done by various multinational companies. The first one is by a telecom company, how the telephone or the mobile towers, how they are working or mapping. The other one is about water quality, which has been mapped by a government agency. Then there is kind of GIS mapping for the schooling, which is again done by a government agency. If you're interested in environmental kind of mapping, there is the image for glacial regression maps. So it depends on what kind of bent of mind you have. If you wish to pursue private job, GIS analyst job, then there's job opportunity for you. If you wish to pursue research, then obviously there is research avenues through various platforms. And if you wish to have a government sector job, though it's competitive, but still various project-based works are also being done by government sectors through state DST, central DST, ICSSR, Wetland Commission, Water Commission. Several project-based works are being done. 5-year project deadline, 3-year project deadline, even shorter ones are also available, 1 year or 6 months. So depending on the initial slide that 𝗕𝗏𝗏 started with, work-life balance. If you can pursue a full-time career, well and good, you would reach a position over there. But if you are someone who is looking for kind of bits and pieces job, you are like a kind of freelancer who would take job as and when you require or when you have off time because you're pursuing something else or you have another goal in mind, then you can easily take up these project opportunities. These will have a fixed timeline, and it would add to your CV. So when you would apply for other better job opportunities, these research projects would definitely help you to get better opportunities. So this is like everyone uses the NASA Mapper and the Google Earth Mapping. So the career opportunities, where we would go, or is everything very rosy that we are trying to picture? Yes. If you look into the very recent 𝗖𝗏𝗋 survey that they have done in 2025, last year only, the GIS market is expanding like anything. And the growth rate, the probable growth rate or the estimated growth rate is around 13%. So it's a market which requires manpower. It's a market that requires skilled manpower. And which are the sectors that people are going to be absorbed? It's agriculture, utilities, mining, construction, transportation, petroleum sectors, and obviously others. So there are several sectors that, as I said, with your interest levels where you are more interested in, you can opt for that sector and you can pursue that what I can do. If you're a very good team leader, obviously you can be a GIS leader later on. But before that, you can just focus that I am interested in town planning, or I'm interested in surveillance, I'm interested in transport planning, I'm interested in hazard management. I would ask you to be focused, because that is the only thing we require to succeed in any career, not only in geospatial career. So what are the basic things that you would need to be a successful, to have a successful career in geospatial sector? Obviously, knowledge on cartography and surveying, bit of knowledge on atmospheric physics and optics. If you do not like mathematics like me, but still you have to bear with it. You have to understand bit of statistics, bit of data management and reasoning. You have to go for a lot of field work, because we feel that GIS is something that it's a kind of armchair geography. You would just download the images and you would through classifications, machine learning and artificial intelligence, output would come. But whether the output is valid, whether the output is relevant, that a geographer can only differentiate it. Your field work, your ability to understand the reality from the field and kind of matching it with the machine output. That is the USP that the geographer has over the other field competitors. And lastly, patience and curiosity are the key for any kind of job or any kind of avenues that you are pursuing. So spatial thinking, global perspective, interdisciplinary perspective, everything would help you to become a surveyor, a regional planner, a spatial analyst, a program manager. Even if you're interested in traveling, you can. There are opportunities in tourism sector. You can be a logistic operator also. So using GIS, photogrammetry, remote sensing, and field methods, these are the various sectors I have already discussed upon. That these are the positions that you can apply for: geospatial analyst, developer, logistic analyst, transport planner, surveyor, sensor specialist, soil scientist, water quality scientist. So there are ample opportunity, there are ample avenues, and these are the kind of, you're going to be armed with these knowledge, the digitization software, the GIS software, image processing software, photogrammetry training, GPS handling, machine learning, UAV technology training, surveying, field instrument, and statistical analysis. All these would be provided by any reputed institution like 𝗬𝘃𝑚𝑏𝑖𝑐𝑒 or any other. They would make you well equipped. But with all that knowledge, you have to find your own way, you have to find your own calling, and then you would excel in whichever field you select to excel in. Now, just a brief overview of how the industrial involvement has been in case of geospatial technology. There are several IT companies who are recruiting. The initial starting stage wouldn't be very high. Obviously, they would, for a fresher, they would check that you have a degree, but they don't know that how you perform. So in the private sector, basically the remuneration or the salary depends on what you're able to deliver. And I would like to say one thing, that work from home is always there. Nowadays, it's a very huge opportunity, but you have to be a bit footloose. There are several agencies with branches all over India or even abroad. So if you feel that I'm going to settle only to my hometown, then it would be a bit of a dampener for you, because it demands a bit of traveling. Even in civil engineering construction company, I just went through a report that 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, they're recruiting a lot of GIS specialists for their site selection, cost calculation, and all that stuff. And for the automation sector, several agencies like ABB, E&A, they are also recruiting. You have heard about 𝗖𝗵𝟏, one of the top food grain manufacturing and managing agency. They also require GIS personnels for their management sectors. So obviously there are opportunities, and the other, apart from drone, the other section that is coming up right now is the avenue for being a data scientist. You need to learn Python, JavaScript, R, and all that, so that you can be a data analyst or a data scientist. So probably that's it. I just made a brief few slides about how, since geographers are very much related with environment conservation, so habitat mapping, protected area design, environment impact assessment for several industries, for natural resource management, for renewable energy siting, that where we can have our solar farms or where we can have our wind turbines. For those agencies, they also require GIS specialists. For remote sensing part, you can very well do 𝗬𝘃𝗁𝗏 detection, deforestation tracking, carbon sequestration, disaster management, climate change monitoring. Through GPS, if you're interested in wildlife, you can do wildlife tracking, You can do protected area management for the forest services. Through drones, you can have habitat mapping, wildlife monitoring, environment compliance and enforcement. So there are ample opportunities. You need to be well equipped, and it will have a very, very interesting future for you through artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things. Virtual reality is a big thing nowadays. So the managerial positions, you can take the managerial positions if you can provide better visualization, accurate data analysis, and handle the decision making effectively. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam, for sharing your valuable experience. So now we'll go for the question and answer sessions. If from the participants have any questions, you can unmute yourself, or you can write the question in the chat box so our speaker can provide the answer. So we have received some questions in the chat box. So first question is from Samiksha. What if we have done MA in geography? So probably she's asking whether we can go for MSc Geoinformatics after the MA Geography. So I request Indrajit sir or Ananda madam to answer these questions.
𝗕𝘂𝗂𝗏, can you please repeat the question?
Yes, sir. So we have received we have received few questions in the chat box. So the first question is from Samiksha. So her question is, what if we have done MA Geography? She wants to ask whether you can go for MSc Geoinformatics after the MA Geography.
Okay, Samiksha, the thing is that if you completed UG first, definitely you have completed your undergraduate level. Now, what would be the great opportunity, whether you can go ahead with this MA in Geography or MSc in Geoinformatics? So think in a way that if you want to go ahead your career opportunity in geospatial science, and you need what I can say, you need a job, because right now everyone here, we are running for a job, and then job should be based on the campus opportunity or campus platform. So in my opinion, if you are having very much interested to go ahead with your job opportunities in geospatial science, so better to move on to the MSc in Geoinformatics instead of doing MA in Geography, because MSc in Geoinformatics, it is also another degree. It's a degree of Geoinformatics. So after completion of the MSc in Geoinformatics, even within this part of that, you can do the internship as well as you can get a job after completion of 3rd and 4th semester through campusing or by your own way of getting the job. So I think that could be better if you have the career opportunity within 2 to 3 years. So better to move on this MSc in Geoinformatics rather than moving on to the MA in Geography.
We have the second question from Chandrai. Sir, how is it helpful if I take MSc in Data Science and Analytics after my graduation in Geography?
Chandrai, the thing is that if you have this geography, and after that you can directly go ahead in MSc in Data Science and Analytics. So first of all, I think better to you can go ahead with the Geoinformatics first, at least because what the module is in different universities or institution we have, that module is not directly go ahead with the data science, because for data science, at least you should learn the mathematics, you should learn the statistics very well. So at least you can go ahead with the geospatial as your degree, then you can go ahead to dual degree like data science and analytics. So Geoinformatics first, then you can go ahead with the data science and analytics, because for data science and analytics you should have a strong background of mathematics, and the statistics as well.
We have another question from Kapil. Which is best, MSc Geoinformatics or the MTech Geoinformatics?
I think, Kapil, yes, that could be a good thing. But do the MSc in geoinformatics, then you can go ahead with the MTech, because MTech is a high opportunity degree that you can get in a specialized way. So do MSc in geoinformatics, then go ahead with the MTech, because even 𝗬𝗵𝗫𝗀 is also providing this MSc in geoinformatics.
Okay. Due to time constraint, we will not be able to take much questions. So we'll take a last question.
Gives you a good platform in your CV as well. Yes. Yes.
So we'll take one last question. You can just mail us. We'll send the questions to our speakers. So what career roadmap is recommended for the agriculture graduate student who want to pursue MSc Geoinformatics?
I think Oninda, other resource person?
Yes.
Oninda, please go ahead.
I would like to understand that from which background the question is coming from, because if you already have a degree in agricultural science or something, a basic bachelor's degree or master's degree, then probably geoinformatics would be you are being focused that you are going to pursue RSGIS applications in agricultural sector only. But if you're speaking from a general geography perspective, then specializing in agriculture at the very outset would be kind of limiting you. So if you are from an agricultural background, then definitely, obviously, you would like to build on that note. But otherwise, coming from a wider platform helps you, because initially you're unsure that in which sector you're going to zero in. Like in the initial questions where you asked that whether it's better to have a master's degree in geography or in geospatial technology. If you are sure that you're not going to pursue academics, then obviously you're more job oriented, you opt for geospatial degree. But if you are in two minds that I might opt for academics or I might go for geospatial job, then you have a general degree, and then on that you build on your specialization, because that helps you to have more avenues open. So that's it.
So now, due to constraint of time, we will now not be able to take more questions. So you can mail us the questions. We will send the question to our speaker. So as we come to the end of today's enriching season, it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. First and foremost, on the behalf of 𝗬𝗵𝗫𝗀𝗀 Institute of Geoinformatics and 𝗬𝗵𝗫𝗀𝗀 International Deemed University, I extend my sincere gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Indrajit Roy Chaudhary and Dr. Anindya Basu, for delivering such an insightful and thought-provoking session. Thank you, professors, for sharing your valuable knowledge, experiences, and guidance, which have certainly helped our participants to gain the clarity and inspiration regarding the career opportunities in this dynamic field. I would also like to express my heartfelt thanks to our Director Sir, Dr. T.P. Singh, and Deputy Director Ma'am, Dr. 𝗕𝗏𝗪𝗪 Madam, and the organizing team at the SIG for their dedicated efforts in planning and smoothly conducting this today's webinar. I thank all the participants for their active participation and their patience. All participants are requested to fill up the feedback form, which is pasted in the chat box, to get the certificate. The certificate will be issued in the next 15 working days. With this, we are ending the session now, and the participants can now leave the meeting. Thank you, Indrajit sir, and thank you, Anindya madam.
Thank you. Thank you, Shambhanda.
Thank you.